Good morning, trainees, and welcome to another session of this wonderful training. Um, so far, the training has reached a level that is tilting towards its end. Like I said, the program is going to end officially on the 26th of this month. That's 26th of June. By the time the program might have ended, it is expected that you should have equipped yourself professionally with all the sessions that uh, will be held. So you are supposed to understand what this is up to. You're supposed to actually uh, be be practicing, like I have said in the previous sessions, that you're supposed to be practicing what is being learned, what you learn after every session. You should do a practical work on your own, even without being instructed to do so. That will be the only way that you will be able to prepare yourself. You will be more equipped for the tasks ahead. So you should please continue to put whatever is being um, learned into practice wherever you are. You can do such for your self practice, or you can do it and forward to Trippies Media to be used on the platform. Today's topic focuses on online journalism. Online journalism. Online journalism is what the topic I will be treating and this morning, this Saturday. You see, the world is going digital. The internet has taken over a lot of activities on our planet Earth. That is the reason you see a lot of online activities, a lot of online issues going on. The internet has taken a very powerful, has made and is still making powerful influence on how people think, on how people operate, on how people act, on how people respond to situations. The internet has injected certain beliefs, values into a lot of people. A lot of persons no more watch um, television. They prefer to use their phone to watch anything. They prefer to access online television. They prefer to go to online newspaper, online magazine, online radio, and everything online. Now, uh, most of the media organizations understand the importance of online activities. That is the reason you see you can watch NTA news online with your phone. You can access their page or YouTube and watch NTA news. You can watch channels, uh, TV news. You can watch TVC news, AIT, and all that. They have connected their programs to the internet. That even if you are not in the position to watch their programs using any of the television platform, you can use your phone to access their programs their news programs and other programs anywhere you are once your mobile device has the internet connection to do so. So the online journalism has been included in mass media study or in media study or in journalism study today because in mass media studies or journalism studies today because of the importance. If you look back in the early 2000s, the online journalism course was never found in any of the mass communication or media curriculum because of the fact that online activities were not actually at a high rate or at a very geometric rate as it has been in this present generation. So there was no need for online activities to be taught in that way, especially online journalism, because uh, the print media and broadcast media were always there. So once you cannot practically have a television set or someone that has to watch news or a radio set to listen to um, news radio, then you miss out of any information or you don't have access to newspaper or magazine, then you will not be able to be informed or entertained because there was no much of that online activities because the internet stuff started having a significant impact in Nigeria but when handset mobile device came in the early 2000, it took a couple of years, one or two, before Android phones started coming in place and all that. Before the internet, online internet started spreading, because before you could access anything, you need to go to a cyber cafe. You buy time, you use the ticket there to browse. Some people go there to do overnight browsing. I also participated in overnight browsing. I've been to a lot of cyber cafes then to actually do overnight browsing to get information. I think as early as 2002 to 2003, I used when the smartphones and Android phones were not too common in Nigeria. I used to go to cyber cafes to actually obtain online information, online news, get online activities, and know how to actually put things in the way they should be. So it was a period where online journalism could not actually be inculcated in the Nigerian media curriculum because even if you put it there to teach, there will be no facilities to enjoy that. There are a lot of courses that are being done abroad, that are being done in the United States, in other countries that you cannot teach them in Nigeria because Nigeria lack, lacks the facilities, the technical know-how, and other components or activities required for such courses to be taught in Nigeria. So there will be no need actually teaching them. Not that they don't such courses don't exist; they exist, but the Nigerian environment has not provided all that would be required for such courses to be studied in Nigeria. So the same applies to online journalism because things were not in order. The internet was not in common use. Only a few had internet access then, and out of the few that had it was monetized, they were doing it for money. So a lot of persons, when it goes to a level of getting to a stage that they have to pay much for certain services, they will not want to do that. But with the mobile phones everywhere today, even with as low as 100 or 200 naira, you can be able to obtain data at least to get certain information online. So today, online journalism is extremely important because without it, information will not um, get to the audience as fast as it should. Because a lot of persons don't, people today don't buy newspaper at newspaper stand to read like it used to be in the past, where you see people rushing to buy newspapers to obtain their information. So when you go to newspaper stand, you no more see people that much. The patronage of print media is not as it used to be when the internet was not yet on board. Now, uh, a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed because I can't remember when last I bought newspaper, or when last I sat and watched news on a TV conveniently. Apart from the fact that I visit a place and then news is being transmitted, and I just had to just have to just see or watch, and then maybe I went somewhere or at a restaurant where there is a screen and you happen to just get the news there. But I can't remember last when I sat conveniently and tuned in to watch news on TV, because my mobile device has been giving me all these services. If I want to watch NTA news, 9 o'clock news, I watch online with my mobile device. If I want to watch any type of news, I watch online. That is the reason all, most, let me not say all, because I don't know how many broadcast or media organizations we have in Nigeria, and those that have key into online activities. So key into the online platform. So I won't be saying all, but most um, standard media organizations online. Like I said before, if you check on Google, you see uh, channel TV, see their platform, NTA, AIT, and a lot more, to watch news, to read news, and to also see view other entertainment stories that are there, not just news, other programs. So with online journalism, these things are possible to be obtained. Now, online journalism, as it is it involves the gathering, the production, and the dissemination or transmission of news using online platform. That is what online journalism simply means. It means the use of online platform to propagate journalism, to disseminate information, the use of online platform to to make impact in the field of journalism. That is the reason uh, conventional media platforms have keyed into the online trajectory of news gathering, news production, news and news transmission or dissemination to the audiences. It is important to note that online journalism deals with writing. Whatever you are writing, deals with writing for online audience. Whatever you are writing is for the online audience, because it's talking about online. What is the characteristic of online audience? You need to understand what is the behavior of online audience. Are online audience homogeneous in nature or heterogeneous in nature? What categorization are you going to give to the nature of online audience? Or what platform are you going to use? Because online, as it is, has different platform. You have Twitter, which is now X, formerly known as Twitter. You have YouTube, and Facebook is there. Instagram is there. Instagram is there, and TikTok, among others. There are various online platforms to disseminate information, depending on what you want to produce, and then the type of audience you want to have. Now, the writing of news, you understand that a lot of persons, when they go online, especially in situations where you are just going to write without attaching videos to them, because you may want to tell a story that you have no videos to accompany, but you still want the story to be told, and then you want to write the story and then put on a Facebook, maybe on your Facebook wall, or to put on your Facebook page, or to put such information on any of the groups that you have or you joined on Facebook. So the information that you are to write, then you need to understand that uh, people who are online don't have all the time to read encyclopedia like writings. They don't have all the time to read lengthy work. Some persons will just open and see, some person will just open and see the heading. They will see the title of the work that they will see the title of your story. Once they see the title of that story, once they see the title of that story, they will actually think of what you are saying. So they look at that and try to understand what you mean. So some person will not have all the time in the world to read at length what you're actually writing about. So you need to ensure that your online production, your online work is streamlined, is being summarized, is being written, focus on the main points that are expected to be told. You are supposed to actually understand the context, the concept of what you are writing. To know that online audience, uh, once someone is online, the online presence is different from the physical presence anywhere, because some persons may be online and they may have series of activities to attend to as they are online. They may not have the time to actually read lengthy writings because they have a lot of things to do online. So lengthy writings would actually make them to miss out. But in situation where the information you are disseminating is extremely important and you want the audience to get the message clearly, you have to, because the last I think one of the sessions that we had, I talked about production of news, lead, the what is the lead of a story. You have the headlines, you have the title of a story, you have the byline. The byline is the writer of that story, written by who is being indicated. Then the lead is the first paragraph of a story, the opening paragraph of a story. Now, when people read the lead, like I said before, the summary lead is the most important aspect of a news production. The summary lead, where the first paragraph contains the first paragraph contains the summary, contains the five W's, and H contains a lot about when, where, how, why did it happen, where, who is involved. So once it gives that, the reader looking at that would want to read more, because it is the lead In fact, online uh, journalism is even supposed to take a more online journalists are supposed to even take the lead of their stories more seriously, because it is the first paragraph of what you write, no matter how lengthy it will be. It is the first paragraph that would make someone to read your story to the end. The reason I'm saying this is because I have also done that, and I used to do it and still doing it. When I check any post online on Facebook, the next thing I do is I check the opening, look at the topic, by who, then I check the first paragraph. It is the first paragraph, how it is written, the lead, how it is written, that will make me to go through the rest of the story, the body of the story. So you see how lead is very important. You mentioned the important factor there. The lead can start by president. Maybe you can just start to say a counselor, rather. Let me not use a high personality. You can maybe a story has um, Mr. Uh, John donates 200 million naira to orphans. That is it, orphans. Now the heading of the story or the topic did not carry where it was donated, did not carry the names of the orphans that were donated, that the money was donated to. The place was not stated, the name not involved. Now, by looking at the topic or title of that writing, Mr. John donates 200 million to orphans. Now, you will be moved to go to the story to see Mr. John. Who is Mr. John? Because there are a lot of Johns. Donates 200 million to orphans. Where? There are many orphans. We have orphanage homes everywhere. We have orphans everywhere. Donated 200 million to orphans. Where? Now, by the time you see the topic, the title, and then you go to the byline written by this person, the next thing is the first paragraph. Mr. John Andoka or Adoye, a philanthropist, yesterday at his birthday celebration or at an event, donated 200 million to orphans in a particular orphanage home, can state, due to the plight being faced, or maybe a particular incident occurred, maybe they were attacked, and so out of sympathy he gave that donation, or maybe some persons were kidnapped, or some things happened that he made that donation, or maybe they were in their need of that, maybe suffering from malnutrition because of lack of food or inadequate food, so they are not being well to go deep to see what caused this problem, who are the parties involved, what solution others can offer, what. So there are stories that once you write, how you put the title or the topic, how you put your lead, like I said, summary lead is the best that can be used lead, and a lot of leads that can be used in news writing. But summary, in most cases, contains the five W and H, even if even if such leads don't contain, or it will contain most audience, the direction of the story, and will make the audience to actually dig deep to get the story very, very clearly. Now, I talked about I talked about photojournalism. in our in one of the sessions that we did, I talked about photo journalism, the importance of photojournalism in news gathering, news production, and news dissemination. Photojournalism is important in online journalism because there are situations online where people will not have time to read. Photojournalism plays a very significant role in online journalism because when you have pictures of an event and you just write, that is why if you check a lot of posts, a lot of stories people post on Facebook, you see more pictures. There are some stories that you will see about 20, 30 pictures attached to a brief story of maybe one sentence or two sentences, and or one paragraph or two paragraphs. And then you see the story will be posted. At times you will see Honorable uh, Johnson Ada um, pays a condolence visit to um, Mrs. Uh, Mrs. Mato or Mrs. Aju or Mrs. Anna because of the sad incident that occurred. Maybe the person is actually in a very terrible situation, and then the condolence visit is being paid. Now, in that situation, the the writing may be brief, but the pictures that will accompany the brief writing will tell a whole lot of story. And the pictures will be arranged to pass the message. Greetings of dignitaries. That's why some posts you see online and then you see photo news. You see photo news. What does that mean? It means using pictures to tell a story. Photo news. Then we see arrival of guests, pictures indicating two persons talking, someone is being consoled, someone crying and is being consoled. And then you see pictures of a lot of things at the funeral service where the mass for the funeral is being conducted, or the service for the funeral is being conducted. And then you see other aspects where the coffin or casket is being taken to the grave or lowered down. You see pictures, a lot of, so it tells the story of the whole thing. So you may not need to explain everything in details because of the pictures that are there. So some persons, once they just see the topic or the title of the story, just check the first paragraph, then they go down to the pictures, just view them. They believe they maybe it's from the pictures that they will still go back again to read the story. That is, I'm not saying even when you have lengthy story that is lengthy online, or you cannot attach as many pictures as you have. You can still do that because some persons, it is when they go through the pictures first. Some persons don't even read at the story that they see. Once they just see the topic or title, they go to the pictures, see them. So it is from the pictures. Maybe they saw a particular person in the picture. Then they want to go, maybe they saw a particular person in the picture that held the microphone and was talking, taking the photograph of the microphone and was delivering a speech or consoling somebody or whispering to someone's ears. And the person will now want to go back. The audience will want to go back and read the story to see what the person say, what role did this person play in that event. Because the person appearing in the picture, mainly the person might have contributed uh, to the burial, maybe there or before the funeral took place, or maybe presented a speech. So a particular audience or some audience would want to go back again and see the role that kind of person played. So it is important that That is the reason you see the mass media is connected. Journalism is connected. You need every aspect of journalism to work, to function. No aspect is left out because there is a kind of connectivity, this kind of connection in all the chains of sessions that we have. It's an indication that journalism cannot be done without knowing one or two things. Because if you don't know how to write news, how can you do that? Because even when you gather news stories, you need to write the story. So if you know about news gathering, getting facts together, so once you don't know how to write the story, it cannot move from that aspect, which means it can't get to the audience. So you must know how to gather news and know how to write to make impact. So if you know how to write news only and you don't know how to gather, how will you be able to make impact? Because you need to know these things. And then you need to know how to present your articulation, your vocabulary, your speech. You need to understand what should be said, what kind of grammar should be said, what kind of words should be said at a particular time. Because it is only someone that has the profundity of speech presentation or public communication that will understand how the choices of words can be used, how choices of words can be used, at what point should a particular word be used so that it won't ignite tension or nationalism. So all aspects of communication, mass communication and media are interwoven. You see the importance of photojournalism in online journalism. You need pictures to tell story, and pictures send a very deep message than just writing only. There are certain things that when you write only without attaching pictures to that story, someone might read the story and the person's level of emotional display will not be intensified or not intensive based on the fact that pictures were not there. Because if, no matter how you write, no matter the choices of words that you want to use to express the emotion of someone, there are a lot of audiences that cannot be moved by the grammatical expression of someone's emotions. Like, say, the person wailed or cried profusely, and we can use any word to qualify the person's action. Some person will still not be moved by whatever you use to qualify one's action. So the person will be looking, but the moment you bring a picture of someone in tears, someone being broken down, some persons by looking at that picture, they will start shedding tears, or they will start crying, or they will become sober. But maybe the same person that read the story without seeing any picture didn't feel anything. By the time picture was attached to the same story the person read earlier on and was not moved emotionally, by seeing pictures attached to that story, the person mood changed. That is the importance of picture. It alters mood of audience. It sends the message deeper in the heart of the audience than just writing without any pictures, without any visuals. So online journalism will not be okay when you just write and post on social media without attaching pictures and videos. When you just write anything and post, you write any story you post, you write, even when you are writing your opinion, because there are opinion writers. That's why if you check newspaper, you see opinion writing where people express their opinion, which is mostly a personal view and not an objective view as it is on ground or in reality. So opinion views are being allowed in the media. So when things happen, there are experts who sit and discuss those issues, such as journalists hang out on TVC, which takes place, I think, 5 to 6 every day, exception of Sunday or Saturday. At least I've been following that sometime. Jide, he always He's always on the program. At times, someone else will be there, but I enjoy him most. He will explain and talk about certain topics. He will talk about it based on his own opinion and view, and not the generally accepted or from an objective point of view. He will be analyzing that based on what he sees, what he feels. So it is left for others to disregard or dispute what he says, and then take their own stand position or their own opinion separately from what he normally views or says that. So opinion views are also allowed in the media where experts come on board and express. That's why you have morning shows, talk shows where guests are invited to the studio to talk and they give their own opinion. So what they say, what they talk is based on what they feel. So no matter the opinion anybody gives, there are still some groups of persons that will be in the same school of thought of that person. Nobody has ever spoken and stood alone in the person's idea. There's no idea on earth that you will bring and you'll be the only one that will love the idea. There will be certainly people that will support that idea that you have. Just that it depends on if they will be on the majority or the minority. But definitely there will be supporters. No matter how stupid the idea or absurd the idea may be, you still have people that will support such an idea. Now, in online journalism, like I said, you must ensure that pictures or videos follow the story. Even when you are putting opinion writing, you may need a picture. Maybe the picture is not exactly referring to the characters used in the story or the expression of your opinion or the people you're talking about. You will need a picture that will serve as an illustration. A picture, maybe you're talking about terrorism. Now, if you're writing anything about terror and then you put pictures of people holding guns, of people terrorizing an environment, maybe a sketch or a picture of people. Now, by attaching that, you have sent a message of how serious terrorism is. So, by the time someone sees a picture attached of some persons uh, holding guns or handling certain uh, weapons, they will now see the gravity of they would feel the intensity, they will feel how terror is. They will have that in their imagination, and then they will be able to take that more seriously. So it is important that even when you are writing personal opinions in the media, you should try to support that with pictures, except in situations where no room is given for that. So you can only write and then post. So if you're talking about marriage, then you can attach picture of couples that are wedded. Maybe you're talking about church marriage or traditional marriage. Now, when pictures are being attached, they help to send a message. They help to send serious message to the audiences or the reader of that story, that okay, this is what this means. We're talking about children, then you look for pictures of children. Any story you are writing about children, then you take a good picture of children playing in the class, and then you attach to the story, so that it will make the information more touching, because there are a lot of persons that love children so much. So by the time they see a picture of children being attached to the story about children that you have written, it will move them to do something or to act swiftly to whatever situation or a challenge that is being presented to be attended to. Now, the fact that online journalism is that, some persons don't understand how the social media operates. They feel that social media is where you can just go there and write anything and post, and then nothing happens to you. It doesn't work like that. Social media platform is being monitored. That is the reason there have been series of arrests of people who have misused social media. When you post anything that is defamatory, you will be arrested, you will be sued, and if found guilty, you will go to jail. So certain things you may take them to NTA, AIT, or other conventional media houses, both broadcast and print media. They will tell you they cannot in any way transmit this information because the information that you have brought to them has defamatory issues, have defamatory statements, comments, have defamatory images or things that will be injurious to whoever you are targeting. And you decide to go and use social media platform thinking, well, since you have your Facebook wall there, you have your Facebook group or page, you can just post anything that you want to post to send a message and nothing will happen to you. Then you are dreaming. If you post anything that is defamatory online, you will be arrested and dealt with. You will be arrested and dealt with. A lot of arrests have gone on like that, and they are still going on of those who have been misusing the social media freedom that they have. So you have to understand this, that online journalism too has its ethics, has its law. There's online media activities. Media law, as you see, defamation is defamation. It doesn't matter where you commit it. Whether you commit defamation on radio, is still defamation. Whether you commit defamation on TV, is still defamation. Whether you commit defamation online, is still defamation. So defamation has no boundary. Anywhere you commit it is still defamation. You will say, no, I didn't say it on radio. I said it on TV. Or no, I didn't say it on radio or TV. It was posted online. Because anything that you post, definitely one or two persons will see it. Anything you say on radio, one or two persons will hear it. Anything you say on TV, one or two persons will see it. So defamation is not done in a vacuum. If you stay within your house and you say anything or within your mind, nobody hears that. So it cannot be defamation. You can be insulting somebody in your mind, provided it has not gone public. Nobody will call that defamation. But maybe inside your mind you have insulted the person and said all sorts of things within your mind. You have a kind of intrapersonal communication on somebody. Nobody will, because the law does not deal with people who think about certain things in their minds. You know, law enforcement agencies are not mind readers that will be reading your mind to know what you are planning to deal with you before you execute what you are planning. They allow you to execute what you are planning first before they swing into action and deal with you. So at the stage of planning anything in your mind, you are the sole advisor of yourself and you are the sole executioner of your idea yourself. So by the time you do it, it is the law enforcement agency that will tell you if what you did was wrong or right, or is wrong or right. So you have to be very careful in your online outings. Your online outings should be done with dignity, should be done with a professionalism. Mind what you write. If you're going to write anything about anybody, don't take it that because it's online, so nothing will happen to you. Of course, the same penalty that will be meted on those that do that on radio and TV will be meted on you that you use online platform, because the person you defam will screenshot the page in which you posted that defamatory post. We screenshot it because by the time you are sued, the court will want to see the platform where the defamation was committed. And then the person will screenshot what you posted. Maybe you accuse someone of siphoning certain amount of money, or accusing the person of doing one or involving in certain immoralities where the person never involved in such immoralities. So if you accuse someone of involving in immoralities and the person didn't do, maybe you say a clergy, You accuse the clergy of having concubines or having side chicks or having 5 or 4 children outside wedlock. That is defamatory in nature. Where is your evidence that the person has kids outside the marriage or has wives elsewhere, married 6 wives? Where's your evidence that the person has side chicks? So if the person screenshot that post and take that post to court, you are in trouble because the court will ask you, you wrote on Facebook that this man is not qualified to be a pastor, that the church should remove him because he has many wives and children. Can you prove your statement? So once you lack the ability to prove, you are finished. Once you don't have your evidence, you are doomed. Your name will be sorry. So before you write anything of that nature, ensure that you have gathered your evidence. That is what journalists should do. I remember when I wrote a lot of things about the former governor of Benue State, Governor Samuel Otom, on Facebook. I did my findings. I will not tell you what I did to get the information I got, but I was able to get the figures of the funds that I needed to write a story appropriately. And I verified the figures to be sure that what I will write will not land me to jail. So I got the details I needed and still verified and was 100% sure that the records I obtained were correct before I wrote the story, accusing the former Benue State governor of misappropriation of funds. And I called him in the post to explain what happened to the money, and I quoted the figures respectively. Till today, no explanation has been given. Till today, I have not been arrested for defamation because what I said was true. The only thing that was there was that I received calls that what if the governor attacked me? What if his boys will attack me? You know, it was the issue of attack, the risks involved, and not the issue of litigation. So when you write what is genuine, what is correct, the issue of litigation will not come in. The issue of court will not come in. Maybe it may be physical attack or assault, which is normal in every aspect of life, and even journalism profession, that is also there. So when you have your evidence, you can nail anybody on the wall without without being afraid. So it is important that whatever you are writing online, you know what I wrote, it was on my wall that I posted what I wrote and shared on various platforms because I had confidence in what I wrote. So when you write anything because of hearsay, they said, this one said rumor, you will be in trouble. Journalism are not supposed to be working based on rumors. You have to verify the rumor. If there's any statement that someone did this or that, you are a journalist to swing into action. You need to do your investigation. That is why we have investigative reporting. Investigative reporting requires that you do your findings. You use all the apparatuses at your disposal to verify what you is being said. Should you go to the Ministry of Finance? They're talking about missing 10 billion, missing 20 billion. Where was this money uh, removed or withdrawn? You go to the bank, you try to do your silent investigation. You know, when you are doing, you don't publicize your investigation. You don't let the world know that you are investigating people. You do it quietly, silently, because investigation require funds. That is why investigation is one of the aspects of journalism that is very, very expensive. Investigative reporting, depending on the personality to be investigated, the location of the investigation, and the factors involved in the investigation. So there are a lot of things that will require you to spend money to get certain information. There are certain persons that have access to certain information that they can't give to you until you meet their price. Some will tell you, well, before we give you this information, you must give us 50,000, 100,000, or any particular amount of money. and they will give you the authentic information. They will give you the document for you to make photocopies, and then you have the photocopy. They keep the original, a stamped document of financial involvement. So you document, you have evidence, you have your document kept, so that once any litigation comes up, the court, like it is said, there's no ignorance in the court of law. That statement still stands. You can't tell the court that you didn't know, you were misled, someone told you this, you thought it was true. That was why you used the information. The court has no time for such. Anything in the court means business. So once you go there, nobody is going to have mercy on you because you didn't know. So you would have known that early enough to avoid. So you should know that the court will not give you room for, will not accept any ignorance excuse. Yes, it's because of ignorance. I didn't know. If I had known, I wouldn't have done this. That has to be done now. Any information you receive to be posted on Facebook or social media platforms, you must understand that it must be authentic, especially when it is defamatory in nature. You know, when it is defamatory in nature, it is very dangerous. When the government is being targeted, when an individual is being targeted, or a company or an organization is being targeted, because the worst thing about defamation is that it reduces the respect and reputation of somebody. And then when it's about business, it's to know that a particular business organization has skeleton in its cupboard, or there are certain things they do. Most persons will stop buying products or using the services of that kind of company or business, and then the business will be grounded, and will actually wind up, and then that will lead to loss of jobs, because a lot of persons will be laid off, because there will be no income to pay them. So defamation can go a very long extent to cause serious or severe damage to a company, to a person, to the government. That is why online journalists must be very mindful of what they write, because there are situations where, as an online journalist, you are the reporter, you are the producer, you are the editor, you are the manager of your own page, of your own wall. So you are the editor is the gatekeeper of any media organization. It is the editor that finally allows anything to form part of the bulletin. If the editor says no, this thing doesn't meet the standard to be transmitted, to be disseminated, it will be removed. Or the editor can tell you, remove this audio, remove this shot, it is not good, it will be portraying immorality, remove this one, it will amount to defamation. It is the editor. The editor sees everything on the bulletin before it is being transmitted. That is why if there is any fine on any television or radio station or print media for any defamation, the editor is the number one person to be held responsible. That why did you see this thing and you allow it to be published, you allow it to be transmitted or broadcast? Because everything passes through the editor before it gets to the audience. So on Facebook, on social media platform, a reporter can be five in one. You are the 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 reporter, you are the producer, you are the editor, you are the manager and everything. So, and still your advisor, you are the one who will still advise yourself, is this thing in conformity with media law? Is this thing is in conformity with the set standard? Is this thing in conformity with what the society accepts, before you finally do the production and you disseminate the information? It is important to understand these things so that you won't feel that social media is a free for all thing, that you do anyhow and then you go without being dealt with. There are also eyes on social media activities. To write anything anyhow, you will be dealt with. You will be dealt with. You have to take that. Some persons don't know. They feel they can express their mind anyhow on social media and go away with it, except if the person targeted that don't want to do anything. Because there are certain people that a lot of things have been written against them, but they refuse to take legal action. In that situation, that is the reason some persons always feel that, well, I will write this now. People have written, nothing happened. Will I be the first to write? Of course, you have written, nothing happened. But what makes you think that the next person that you will write such, or the person you are intending to write such against will take it likely, like will take it, will not take it, the person will take it likely, like others took it. No, the person may not take it likely. The person may decide to deal with you, and you'll be the first that will face the hammer of that kind of action in that community or organization. So if any wrong act is being done and the person doing it hasn't faced any penalty, you shouldn't use that as a yardstick for you to also uh, perpetrate the same wrong act on a different person, claiming that someone else has been doing it on someone on somebody, but nothing happened to him or her. So you can also follow the same trajectory and nothing will happen to you. Yours may not go down well because maybe the person you are targeting may be somebody who is very terrible and will not want any stain, or even the person is not terrible, it may be somebody that is highly respected that will not tolerate any stain on their reputation, on integrity. So you will face the wrath of the law. You will be dealt with. A lot of persons in prison today because of defamation, and maybe they did that feeling that nothing will happen. If they had known truly that such act would land them to prison, they wouldn't have actually done that. So you shouldn't be caught in a situation where you will have to regret. When you start regretting, it doesn't change the offense. It doesn't change the penalty you have committed. That is one painful thing about regret. Regret only shows that you've given a second chance, you will not repeat it again, but it will not prevent you from facing the penalty for your actions. So you should at all times do the right thing online. Online reporting should not resort to misuse of online platforms, because you have the freedom to say or write anything, and then you just misbehave and do whatever you want to do. You may end up landing where originally you didn't plan to land, and that will affect you so badly. It will constrain you from doing a lot of things, to keep you away from progressive activities. It will have some kind of mental and psychological effect on you. So please try as much as possible to avoid acts online that will amount to defamation and other practices that are not the ethics of journalism and would be against the media law, be against media law, so that you won't be caught in any litigation. Of course, every job has risks. Journalism has its own risks. So if you are doing the right thing, being afraid of the risks should not be an issue. Although you have to be apply some caution, but journalism is risky, just like driving. Driving is risky too. An accident can occur. Every occupation has their risks inclined situation, and then risk management. So all these things should be taken into consideration, so that you will be able to work effectively and do things appropriately, and do things more professionally. Um, this will be the end of our class, of our session today. And before I go, I still want to appeal. I still want to appeal to all of you. You see, this appeal that I am always appealing is because I know what it takes to do the right thing. So please and please continue to devote yourself, do the right thing, and you will go places. God bless you.